This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Well, we're gearing up for the first test here at Optus Stadium. Going to be amazing between Australia and India. By the way, the only place to watch every ball of the Australian-India Test Series live, ad break free during play and in 4K, is on Fox. You can check out KO Sports. Adam Gilchrist is the superstar that we love with all our hearts.
And Father of the Year.
I believe he is being a toolie this week.
Oh, no.
Down south again, eh, Gilly?
Gilly, good morning.
Oh, yeah, good morning. Any excuse to get down south. But now, very exciting week down here for Leavers. I've got my fake ID to say that I'm 18.
Gets him every time,
He will
Gilly.
get carded all the time.
Go to the zone at night, hang out in the day at the beach. But no, good vibe down here, actually.
Gilly,
Getting into it.
have you taken the clippers down and given yourself the new sort of side mullet that all the kids are wearing these days? To blend in?
I need a whippersnipper to get over my ears. More than clippers. No, that is the trend. I do feel a little bit for the people of Dunsborough.
Of course.
But then again, get over it.
I know, you know what?
They're
That's your
cashing
fault.
in,
That's
don't
your
worry.
fault for your place being so beautiful, Dunsborough.
Yeah. Hey, Gilly, I remember last time you were talking about, I think when you had your oldest maybe down there, that you got like a coaster bus to help get the kids around and make sure
You're
that,
a glorified Uber driver.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's call it what it was.
So what's the plan and who are you looking after this year?
Yeah, Archie, he's our third child, so he's our third one to have this rite of passage to come down here and join about 8,000 other students and get into it. Yeah, mate, you're right, Shawnee. I'm just a little Uber driver, got a little minivan and shipping around 10 of his mates. And although I had a night off last night, so that's why I'm probably a bit croaky.
Oh, no, that's great. Sounds sexy. Sounds like you should be paid for this call.
No, I afforded myself just to dabble in a couple of little tequilas. But no, we got a couple of dads down here. We've taken turns being on call. All in the name of keeping them safe and letting them have the best time possible. But,
so good of you.
Gilly, I've got a question for you. In the news lately, right, so you would have seen the porn stars that have landed, that have been trying to get into Australia and sleep with as many men that have just turned 18. So as a father of a son who is right in this, should be circling him right now, what do you feel about that? What do you feel about as a parent? Because she said parents should be okay because they're of age and it should be fine. But what do you feel?
More. I think they should focus more on the dads, I reckon, than the kids. That's terrible. Terrible thing to say. I think her name was Bonnie Blue. Wasn't it?
Bonnie Blue.
Bonnie Blue.
But so the other girl that was in Australia already because Bonnie couldn't get in. She ended up, I think, on the first day, bedded 55 young men, and she bedded an entire sports team, except for two people that I'm going to say withdrew at the end.
Yeah,
before you're going in.
That's a better strike rate than Glenn Maxwell in the T20 game. That is frightening numbers. Pretty ridiculous stuff. I can't understand why she was deported. She had
Her paperwork was all clear to me.
I have not seen any of that activity down here myself.
It's all very above board.
And she won't be interested in us because we can only fit 12 in our bus.
It's true. You're limited there.
Now, Gilly, let's get on to the test, which you'll be covering in earnest for Fox, obviously, over the next few days. And what we're going to see is, I'll tell you what, the build-up on the West Australian and on Channel 7 here has been really good, obviously on Fox as well. Are we going to see the best of Virat Kohli? Because there's a lot of pressure on him, and if he's playing well, then Australia have got their hands full.
Yeah, I'm glad you got to Fox eventually, given that's who I'm working for, mate.
I said a couple of times.
Fox is the best.
I said Fox.
Fox Sisters, love them.
You did indeed, after naming every other broadcasting competitor of ours. But that was good. No, Shawnee, I do think Virat, he enjoys the conditions out here. He is always up for the fight against Australia. He's had a bad run of it in the last few years, but I expect that he'll be right up for this one. I don't think he's letting too much of the outside noise affect him. So,
do we like him? Are we on board with him, or are we still think he's not a good bloke?
No, I love him. I really like him. Yeah, no, he's a different man compared to the kid that he was when he came out here about 12 years ago and was giving the bird to the crowd. But that's the fire within champions, isn't it? They take everyone on and that's what extracts the best out of themselves. So I don't think he needs to go back to those ways to get his best results. I don't think he's a class act. And if you play long enough, you're going to have flat periods, and he'll fight back. I think he's going to be, he's got to be integral for them to be successful.
Now, Gilly, there's a lot being said about Nathan McSweeney and his position at the top of the order. That said, I want to put him aside because I think everyone's covered that daily. The Australian top to middle order, it's apart from Travis Head, they haven't really performed. And I know the focus has been on Marcus Labuschagne. Sorry, should I say. There's a few in and around that area that haven't really got the best out of themselves lately.
Yeah, no, I think all the batters last summer, they were down on average. So maybe there was a challenging pitch conditions. Maybe the opposition did something right against our batting lineup. But it wasn't just Marnus. Everyone was down a little bit, maybe save for our boy Mitch Marsh. But they've got to step up. They've got to have to deliver. They all know that. I think both batting lineups are a little bit vulnerable. So. And on the Perth pitch, which I must say, how good we've got the first test. That's something that, in all seriousness, anyone out there, if you can get along, get down there and show the East Coast that we deserve big events and we deserve this cricket match. Because if we don't turn up in numbers, we might miss out again.
Yeah, we've got great weather on the weekend too, so it is perfect conditions. Yeah.
Unreal. Yeah, no, so it's going to be a testing pitch for the batters to bat on. But, Shawnee, you're right, Marnus and everyone will want to be lifting their output compared to what it's been in the last 12 months.
Well, we look forward to watching all the action. Did I say Fox Cricket? Because that's the place to watch it.
Well, that's where I watch all my cricket.
Watch it anywhere else.
Yes, I can't consume cricket unless it's on Fox.
That's right, Nathan. You know what?
Yep. You know what we do have at Fox? We've got a dedicated Hindi channel, which, given we're playing India, is excellent. And a lot of people I've been telling that to tell me that my commentary sounds like it's in Hindi most of the time. I don't quite get, but whatever we can do to accommodate our Indian friends. It's going to be a huge series. It's going to be good fun.
Well, Gilly, we look forward to watching you on the box. And
good luck for the rest of Levers.
Yeah, and we've got to talk about your tequila at some stage. Is that in the offering? Just quickly?
It's, most definitely. We're edging ever closer to actually launching something. So when the time is right, I will pay a visit for sure.
I'm off to Mexico for my holidays, Gilly, so I'm going to be able to test out, and so I'll have a lot to compare to, okay?
Excellent. You might be able to go and sample some from our distillery.
Well, I'm more than happy to do the right thing.
Gilly, whereabouts in Dunsborough can kids find your sample table for your vodka?
Tequila.
Tequila.
Yeah, I haven't quite got it set up yet.
But you'll let them know.
Just a pop-up.
Yeah, responsible Uber driving.
That's right,
and
mate.
service of tequila.
Gilly, it's always a pleasure, mate. Good on you, buddy. We look forward to catching up soon.
See you, team.
Bye.
Thanks, Gilly.
Shaun Sport in podcast form.
We'll start off with a couple of bits of sporting news. The Socceroos played last night in a World Cup qualifier against Bahrain away. We needed to win this game, really, to make sure that we kept our head above above water.
Yeah.
And we drew 2-2. And it was heartbreaking again. It was crazy.
At least we kicked some goals.
Yeah, we did. We kicked a couple, and Kasuni Yengi, he was a guy who was put in the forward line as our main striker today. He got onto one, which is a really bad bit of play. Bahrain scored early, right? So we're up 1-0. And then we gave away two of the most ridiculous goals you've ever seen, just ridiculous mistakes. It was so bad, and it was hard to describe to you guys unless you see them, and you'll see them on the news services. So they're embarrassing goals,
right?
And they went against us, and then finally we scrapped one in the end to draw it 2-2. But it seems to happen to the Socceroos a lot in their performances.
So embarrassing goals.
Here's
That's
one, Nate.
So
the
bad defence is what you're saying.
They kicked one of I think it was the goalkeeper, kicked a long one, down the pitch as they do. Yeah. And one of the Socceroos defenders went to stop the ball, and it hit him in the thigh. And it bounced literally to his opponent, which is 1 metre away, like you to me. Yeah. And that guy just booted it straight away. And our goalkeeper was off the line, and it just sailed over his head in the back of the net.
No one in that whole thing was doing the right thing.
Well, don't let it hit you in the thigh. I don't often see that in international.
The guy that kicked the goal was doing the right thing.
Yeah, the guy that hit the goal, yes, but everyone else, no.
And the second one was another long ball that came in, and one of our defenders went to header it, and it kind of got him on the back of the head.
Oh, how embarrassing.
And it went to the back of the post, hit our back post, and then there was a Bahrainian, who came out of nowhere and just went, boop, thanks for coming.
See, I know the embarrassment of facing Mitch Marsh in the nets when I would go to swing and do a
pirouette.
But when I pirouette and hit the ball, then that would be okay. But when I pirouette and didn't hit the ball, that was truly embarrassing because of also the pirouetting. But is that terrible if you go to mark a ball and you completely miss it? Is that go in your head?
All of that stuff, yeah. Of course it does.
Go, oh my God, how embarrassing.
Well, there's a million people watching this, and I'm never going to live this down. Let alone the people in the stadium. Anyway, we were able to salvage the draw. There was a couple of times where the Socceroos had opportunities, just as they did in their previous game, to just put them in the back of the net, but we just don't have that high ability in the front end to be able to score so quickly. Today, though, it's all about the national draft, which will be taking centre stage. A whole lot of West
coming
Australians.
Through. Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of kids that are going to be disappointed, to be fair.
So today's the first 20-odd, and then tomorrow's the rest?
22, maybe.
So anyone that's looking for an apprentice should be hanging around just outside?
Yeah.
The ones that get rejected?
No doubt.
You'll be a Boilermaker, come with me.
There's only one West Australian who's been flown over to Melbourne for the event. And because today, as Nat said, it's the first round, so we'll get up to about maybe 22 today. They'll all go back tomorrow, and then the rest of the rounds will be completed. So from picks 22 to around about 80 will take place tomorrow, and then on Friday it'll be rookie listed guys will get the opportunity to get mopped up if you like.
If they don't get in this year, they'll want to try next year, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens with someone in that position? Do they have to work, of course.
Yeah.
How does their training? Because you've sort of got to train like a professional athlete to get into that profession. So what happens to that?
Well,
is that full on?
You just can't to the level that the AFL guys do, because that's what their job is.
Yeah.
So the only thing you can do is to make sure you live that life where you get up early and you go to the gym. That's how you start your day. You do your running or your weights before you go to work. You go
and
go
maybe
to work
training with a waffle side.
And that's really difficult. Early days when I was at the Dockers, I was doing this AFL apprenticeship or traineeship, if you like, and I didn't do anything. But a lot of the guys I was playing with,
they
were coming off building
You did the
sites.
same apprenticeship here.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. I actually got a certificate. It's ridiculous.
Did you?
I barely completed a thing.
Where's your certificate?
I wouldn't have a clue. I'll find it somewhere.
Pride of place in the pool room. So who's talk to us about the top WA prospect?
So the top WA prospect is Bo Allen. He plays for Peel Thunder.
He
Naturally,
looks the
they're
part,
aligned to the Fremantle Dockers.
When you see him, like there's a picture of him in the paper today, and you go, "Oh, well, that's an AFL
Well, he's a
footballer."
weapon.
He's tailor-made for it, isn't he?
Yeah. So the West Coast Eagles were probably hoping that he would slip through to pick 12, where they are on their first pick. Fremantle at 14. He might get to 12. When you read the West Australian, and they're always out because they just want to promote the WA people, they've got him down at pick 7. I'd imagine he'd be a little bit after that. But whether he gets to the West Coast Eagles... Nah, mate.
Don't do your voodoo, Shaun.
20 West Australians are going to get drafted.
Yeah.
No, that's not the case.
And
There'll be
who's going to go at number 1?
A guy called Sam Lawler, who we're about to hear from. He's going to go to Richmond. He is an absolute weapon as well.
Yeah, obviously I want to go as high as I can. I'd be happy to go anywhere still, but I think everyone wants to go as high as they can, and if it fell that way, I'd be extremely proud.
I think as a number 1 draft pick, you get a heap of cash as well.
As a bonus.
Yeah.
100? 50?
Oh, God, I'm going to say 100 for some reason.
Are you?
It doesn't mean he's
20.
right.
Might be 20.
Number 1 draft.
Are you
Actually,
saying
might be 10.
$100?
We'll get back to that. That's all, Sammy.
Right.
Don't
Nice
check
work.
it. Don't check it.
Don't check it.
Holes in my stories
No
everywhere.
fact-checking here.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.